Good morning to a sunny but damp, slightly cloudy, day 151, 152, can't remember. Anyway, today is going to be a day of trying to complete a couple of things. We need to get the septic tank scenario absolutely nailed today for once and for all. So hopefully we can try and get that in, get that laid, and get that backfilled. That's one thing I want to try and do today. And today we potentially could get the whole front beam built. Whether it's lowered into place or not, it doesn't matter, but finishing off the actual boxing that sits underneath and the actual beam itself. So I'll show you what we did yesterday. Finished on the video yesterday showing that in one day most of the beam itself was pretty much made. It was just this final piece here that just needed to be finished off. Then they started coming into the next piece. So yesterday they got most of the framework sorted out here. So that's pretty much done. The beam itself above is pretty much done. I need to just talk to them about what's going in there steel wise, and then we're going to try and do exactly the same thing over here. So hopefully we can get that finished off as well. All the jacks obviously turned up for the extension jacks, that is. They all turned up yesterday as I showed. So we've got plenty of those laying around now. The guys, the other carpenters turned up at 9 o'clock and they managed to get obviously the roof in last night and a few of the jacks in, so they're now looking at propping up one side. They'll obviously do the other side as well, and they're going to have to do the same through here. The sooner we can get out, the better, because obviously we are in rainy seasons, and as you can see, it rained a little bit this morning, and over there's nice and dry. So we need to try and get all of this done by Friday. That's the aim. So I want all of the boxing work finished off here. I want these beams boxed in. I want to start going this way, but we can't go this way until, well, they can start doing this, but they need to get the boxing up on here and higher so they can start going this way. And that's what these 4-foot formworks are all about. So I said to him last night, the manager, the owner of the construction company that is, we don't have enough ply. We don't have enough ply for the actual roof itself, let alone for the extra boxings that we're going to need to make. So we're probably going to need 4x2 and we're going to need ply today. So that's something I'm going to try and get on. So other than that, it's rebar, cage installation, and woodwork. That's the main thing. Chuck in a little bit of septic edits and amendments that we need to finish off. That's pretty much the day so far. But I'm going to meet up with everybody, make sure we're on the same page. We do also have to finish off the steps and the foundations for down here, because at some stage we need to be pouring the steps here as well. I would say that we'll pour the steps here at the same time as either the roof above the patio or the roof for the annex. But either way, we're going to have to do, I would say, do the roof in one, do the roof over this and the annex and the steps at the same time. So that's the plan so far. So let's see how today goes. Currently 11:05. Yeah, 11:05. Had a little bit of a disaster. We found out that the beams that were absolutely mullered yesterday and put into place have been made the wrong size by over an inch. So the guys have had to take it all apart and redo it. So we're now at 11 o'clock. It's taken them all this time to undo it, take them out and redo them. So half a day so far would have been now finishing it off and cracking on over here. This one would pretty much be done by now. It's now been spent rectifying all the work on this. Anyway, done, but another half a day wasted. As you can see, all the base has now got to be rebuilt. They've built the top already. The base has got to be put back in, and all of the actual bars, so the 6 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they've all got to be put through as well. And the same beam that they're building at the top here has also got to go through the middle as well. So if you don't get the right coverage over the steel here because of the salt and the sea, it will destroy it. So that's meant to have 2 inches of coverage. You should have 3 because it's actually out in the elements. But the engineers spec 2 for some unknown reason. So that's got to be redone, which obviously has halted this side being done. The guys on the carpentry front at the front, they're cracking on with going over. Now we do need to mark out the floor where the actual partition walls are going to be, so we can try and either land on them so that when we take some up we can avoid them, or we have them either side so we don't need to move them. Either way, we've got to try and mark out the floors, because before you know it, there's going to be beams in here. So we're definitely going to need to make sure that we've got the right amount in here. and they're now starting to go over. So the jacks are coming up, obviously, which means they can start laying the plywood sheets. So that's what we do today. In here is nearly finished off, obviously. Obviously, we need to put another 3 rows of 4x4 through here with jacks. The boys obviously are on a price. They're now building the formwork that's going to go around the 4-foot beam. So they're cracking through that, which is good. It's amazing the speed difference when they're on price. So that's good. What else? We've got blocks delivered, thank God. So Ricky and the boys have actually taken the block work up to level here. The hole there is obviously for the garage front beam. That's been sorted. So the carpenter here actually doing the side steps, which is cool. They're being done there. And in the team we're obviously doing the concrete. Cheers, buddy. Thanks. And then down the side here, we've had the septic dug back out again. Unfortunately, the excavator's just blown a pipe, so that's got to be redone. Don't know who you are, but hello. Then we've redone the measurements in the actual septic hole, so he's now re-drilling and re-digging out for that. The boys down here are taking out the formwork underneath. Beckles is having a frustrating time with the mason. Doesn't seem to be able to communicate. He's doing what he needs to do, fair play. He's going to piss people off. Gutted, but that's the way it is. Other than that, we've had blocks delivered, which is good. I don't know why the pump's suddenly landed up over near the blocks, but it has. And we now have sewage hanging out the wall, so I need to get down there in a minute and just double check what's been done down there to ensure that I'm happy with the heights, etc. One thing we need to make sure is that the heights don't, the runs on the pipes don't land up passing the beam, otherwise when we box it in we're going to have all different sort of drops. So it's one thing I need to look at, and from looking at the moment I can notice straight away is that pipe is actually running backwards, not forwards. So I just need to make sure that's not height playing tricks, but it does look like it's running back, not forward. So I just need to make sure I check every one of the pipes to make sure that we're getting the right runs needed. That's pretty much it so far, so I'll report in a minute. 2:10. Quick update. We have an excavator with a broken pipe. We're still waiting for the replacement, so we can't do anything over there. We have block wall now rectified and being rebuilt down here. This wall has been pretty much done, waiting for the corner to be poured with concrete. Pretty sure it hasn't been done yet. No, it hasn't. Concrete has been poured on the back of the manhole over there, so that's now good to go. We're waiting on the dig out over there and the finish there. Mason and labourer sorting out the door frame, the beam frames, if you like. It's actually a beam from the garage, the roof that's going to go through here. So it's going to be connected here and come that way. That will be the height of the roof. So he's just sorting out the actual beam top so the actual steel can go through. So that will be a big beam through there. The rebar boys are sorting out the actual wooden struts that go up to hold the beam like we do here. This one now is near on finished. The base is in, not 100% complete, but the top is in, the base is in. The smocks need to be put down there, and then they'll start looking at lowering that beam back down again now it's been rectified. The guys, carpenters, have pretty much finished off the side boxings. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, so there's 20 in total there. 10 either side. So they're pretty much good to go on that tomorrow. Tomorrow will be installed. They might get onto it today, you never know. This is all finished up here. Need a bit of a cleanse through here. The carpenters on this side are pretty much coming over, so we need to get some more beams in here. But nearly finished with regards to boarding right over on this side, which is good. So we need to actually draw out the floor and the acros. We'll talk about doing that. We need to get that done sooner rather than later. So I'll talk to them in a minute about getting that done. Pretty much it on that side. So we are currently, big potentially, but we are currently on target to potentially port this week. If we can achieve that, that'd be great. Just looking around, if there's anything else I can show you. We've got a carpenter around the base here doing the stairs to the garage. Just going in here. That'll be the actual, the landing and the steps going down this way. Rebar boys are over the back building more rebar. Waiting to go install. Tyson acting like David Bailey. And what we got down here. And that's it at the moment. So this is the stairs, the width of the stairs that are going to land up coming all the way to the patio edge. So 17 foot wide. I think they're going to be about 5 feet in height. 5 to 6 steps with a landing. So 27 in total. So yeah, this beam here needs to be this needs to be taken off and blocked up. So we need to get that taken off next, so these guys can actually carry on with the same level, height-wise, of blocks on here all the way around as well. Obviously the beam was lower here, and the beam is, no, it's not the same height I'm talking about, talking rubbish. So that will continue up the same height as this as well. Only on the inner wall, that wall, as far as I'm aware, is going to house the actual roof of the garage, so we need to have a look at that in a minute. But anyway, the box has been taken off on the outside, we just need to get it off on the inside. And then when they do pour the beams, obviously this beam will be poured as well as that one over here. This will all flow through into here. And that's pretty much how it will look. So fun with the septic still continues. Now I've got it out, pipes are in, most of the water's been taken out and we've dug down as far as we can. This is the width of the septic tank. This pipe currently would sit in between those two lines there, so as you can see we need to dig out already about 6 inches, plus the outlet pipe comes 4 inches lower than that, so it's 10 inches total. However, we've not been able to lay this down the 8 inches flow that it needs. It's probably about 4 to 5, so we'll probably land up being at the bottom of that orange line there, I would have thought, by the time we get there. So we're going to lower it in and see how it pans out. Bear in mind, we've still got to put a sand and stone base in there first. So we're just changing over to the hook. We're going to pick up the septic. We're going to drop, we're going to do a dance. And then we're going to lower it in and see obviously where the inlet and outlet comes. Now the downside is the outlet is going that way, so we might need to dig that out. So we're going to try and lift her up. But the one thing they're not taking into the equation is the outlet pipe is still in and it's currently too high. This is too high for the depth of the tank, so hopefully it won't stick out too much and might be able to still get it in and assess the depth. But we have to bear in mind brilliant, I need to put a rope around it. It's like something out of Laura and Hardy. I'm assuming that's mainly because the rope is a little bit around the front on this one rather than the back, but you shouldn't make it react like that. The chains are the same length as well. So this is where we're going to find out we may have the problem. A lot of people, by the way, actually build block holes and tank them on the inside, while they plaster them with a waterproof on the inside, and certainly cheaper. For some reason the tank isn't level, so I need to try and get it level, otherwise it's going to carry on. I think it's because the strap's moved. No. Now it's getting to stop. 4th time lucky. The the outlet is quite long. That's the biggest problem, as you can see it peering over the fence. Dug that out now, so it's a bit deeper to see if we can try and get it in. Pedro's going to try and catch it and control it around. Huh? That's right, yeah. It's fine where it is. Now he's got to come over. So Pedro's got the back now.
Pedro, you slightly back. Back mine. I start at the front. I'm off now. I'm going.
Okay. You come this way a bit.
Right. Good.
Junior.
This one, yeah.
That's it. Now take it down.
Okay.
Yeah, take it down. Pedro, behind you is an orange line. Okay, we hit the floor. Andy, look at the front. Is that pipe lining up? Of course it's not. No. Okay. Okay, as you can see, we're quite a way off. Bear in mind, we've not put any sand down yet. We are 3 inches too high, and we've not put a base down yet. And that back piece is higher than the front piece.
So we can put it back up, and tomorrow, you know, we got the down. We got the down about 6 inches down.
Well, we got 3 inches too high this side.
That wall there needs cutting out. In that wall, they hit the ground there already. You catch up with that wall? In the wall. They actually butt the ground up there already. Okay. The front now, they're down, you know. Back inside now, yeah? Back inside now that way, so the front of the down.
We ideally need to go down about 10 inches to put 8 back in.
Yeah, 10 inches.
So we can clear that 3 we've got there. Bear in mind, that's if we can try and get the back down, because at the moment that back's too high.
Yeah, we got to on here.
If you stuck a level on that, you'd see the container, it's up in the air like that.
The whole thing is 10 inches because the whole thing is got double.
Yeah.
Yeah? Alright, so
Sorry, Junior.
let me up, party. Let me go. Alright,
So 4th time lucky, we did get it in. But now, as you can see, now we've got it in there, it is still loads more work to do. So count to 10. On a positive note, the beam is being lowered in. So, as you can see, carpenters on one side, steel benders on the other. You can see the height here compared to over here. So the beam has now been taken off of its chucks and been lowered down. You can see a little bit of electric conduit hanging out the top there. The first 3 sets of 4-foot sides are going on. 5th one about to be loaded up. And as you can see, the boys are just finishing off this side as well. So by the end of play today, hopefully this beam will be finished. And then tomorrow they'll take the chucks off here and lower this down up. So the smocks have gone in underneath, as you can see. Probably need more smocks than that. It's a big old beam, but you can see there's smocks underneath there. Look, there's 2 there, another 2 over there. Yeah, so it's rolled out. They're going to need to put that back in again. That's an inch tie. They've got those going all the way through, so that one's twisted as well. So just make sure that gets twisted. Through here, you can see on this side. In fact, still around here. Around here you can see the enormity of it. So that is the beam going in. Look at the bloody size of it. Huge. So 3-inch smocks all the way along, 2-inch on the front and the sides, 2-inch being the concrete coverage it will get. And as you can see, this one obviously is starting. Still a little way to go, but getting there. And then in here, the boys are flying through in here as well. More Tour Pros going up. Okay, so we need to try and get these drawn out so we're not in the middle of them. That's one thing we did plan to do. You're right. Got it. Okay, so the roof is going over though. Still a few more panels to go towards the end, but not too bad in here. We've also got the side step starting to the garage. This is the basic framework. This is the steps that we're going straight into the garage. Okay, and one thing that we spotted today is the issue here. So as you can see, we've got a 6'8" doorway going into the garage. It's going to be the only low door frame in the whole house. But it also highlighted to me today that we have an issue here, in as much as the architect has got a flush garage roof going all the way across. But this doorway is 8 foot, as we've had a chat about. This is an 8 foot doorway now, which means we've got a foot above that, which is going to be 9 feet. So we've got 9 feet ceiling with a foot beam. So that's 10 foot in total going that way. However, the garage is due to come 7'10" over here, so probably about 2 blocks from here this way. So what we're going to have to do in here is going to have to increase the roof height by at least 8 to 10 inches to accommodate the height we need plus the door frame, which means that the concrete floor of the garage will have a drop and then a flush everywhere else. So we'll have a whatever this is, 12 foot by 6 foot parapet, if you like, in the garage roof, because otherwise we will not get the height in the actual toilet itself. So we'll come from 12 foot ceilings in here, as you can appreciate that is bloody tall, into what would have been a 7'10" room, which isn't, it's not dramatically low. It's the same height as this threshold here, but obviously it means that we'd have a 6'8" door here, which would match that one. So we need to have a think about that. I need to sleep on it tonight. Are we going to go 24-inch beam? So maybe you guys can answer. Do we go for 1 block and 24 inches and have an 8 to 10 inch parapet in the garage roof, but have a 9 foot ceiling in here? Or do we take this doorway back down to 6'8", mirroring the garage door, and have a 8 foot ceiling in here with a flush garage roof? They're the two options we physically have. So the question stroke dilemma is height internally versus height on top of the roof, or low height internally, flush garage roof. They're the two options. So 8 foot ceiling or 9 foot ceiling, parapet above, non-parapet above. Sleep on that one. But anyway, it's still carrying on here. As you can see, more jacks are still going in. The beam is being put in. These are the guys that are on price. So there's a little bit of advice for if you want stuff done. Then you can do day rate and have everyone leave at 4 to half 4, or you can put people on price and watch them work a little bit longer and harder. From my point of view, if you can manage people on a day rate, it's worth doing day rate as well. But at the same time, these guys here have shown a very different attitude towards work since I put this beam on price. So definitely consider price if you're going to be doing things, because certainly if you're under time pressures like I am at the moment, and you'll see things flying up a lot quicker and a lot more accurate, that's for sure. So that's my advice to you. So quick finish off walk at 10 to 5, our manky staircase. Obviously all the formwork is still on there to protect the steps. Here is the actual beam that's going to go out and join the front of the garage. It's a big old beam. So that's going to go out and join the roof of the garage. which is a drop down, and then the roof will come up. The roof is that high of the garage, and it will shoot all the way along here. And as you can see, it's at least 2 blocks above, and then the roof will go that way. So the dilemma, obviously, we just talked about, do we actually go higher on the bathroom or not? I think, the more and more I think about it, it's not. It's leave it the height that it is. It's an 8-foot ceiling rather than a 9-foot, but that means the garage roof is flush, simple. And then from the patio area, the garden area, looking back at it, it'll have a flush roof. I think it'll play around with my marbles if I have it up in the air by a foot on its own. So we'll have to think about that. I'll sleep on that tonight. Windows have been ordered for the bathroom and here. He says, I need to double check that. Might not have ordered that. I may have forgotten the bathroom actually saying that. Good job I said that. There's a 2-foot by 8-foot window there, and I think I may have forgotten to order it. Anyway, I need to have a look at that in a minute. Obviously septic fund tomorrow, get that sorted out. A little bit more of a block wall built here, still needs to be finished off, but we need to, again, Hilti into the wall downstairs in order to do that. Downstairs has been emptied of formwork. The steps can start in the next couple of days, but that's more of a concrete job. Beams are being built, but now the steel benders are now holding up the carpenters who are on a price, because they had to take that beam apart. It's now stopping them from actually getting that boxing up and installed. So fingers crossed the steel benders can crack on tomorrow and allow these carpenters to move, because they've lost now a good 3/4 of a day, maybe half a day. They've lost half a day. So I need to crack on with that tomorrow. Again, like I said, Pricework boys carry on. They want to carry on, but they're now pretty much being held up by the steel benders. The other guys, again, they're on a price. They're still in the other side. Sticking the formwork upstairs, plus getting the beams in. I think I'm going to regret not getting down there and spending some time mapping out where the beams need to be. But as you can see, more formwork going across the roof. They're pretty much done now when it comes down to getting this over. I do also need to work out, anyone's got any suggestions, as you can see, daylight coming through. For every bit of daylight that's going to come through means that we're going to get leaking concrete coming down. So because they use board and they've got pre-conditioned concrete on them, there's now daylight going through every single one of them. So we need to get all of those sealed up. So any ideas from you guys that are in construction about what's the best way to seal that, let me know. Obviously there's duct tape, there's silicone, there's all sorts of stuff. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, because there's a lot of it. I'm seeing daylight everywhere, which means on my so-called finished floor, I'm going to get lots of concrete dripping, which is not an option. So I would say duct tape's probably going to be the best bet. But anyway, hit me up with some comments down there. Listen to me, YouTuber, hit me up. This was the actual steel going out that was relevant to the door being 8 foot, but obviously we've taken it out now, so that's going to have to be boxed up and concreted. And then the beam itself will go through the roof. But I am thinking now, when it comes down to the front door, I was literally saying to you guys, 8 foot or 12 foot, what should I do? I'm personally thinking there should be a 2-foot window at the top with the house number in it, and then a 10-foot door. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So 8 foot and 12 foot, everyone was a bit 50-50. So I think a 10-foot with a 2-foot bit of glass is probably the best option. Anyway, Barbados Beach house build, Planet Earth day over. I'll check in and see you guys tomorrow.